Hi and a huge welcome to Steve's Kitchen. Today we're making a sugar-free custard. One of my regular viewers, Sharon, asked me to make a sugar-free ice cream, and all great ice creams start with a vanilla custard. Now I'm going to be using Stevia. You can get it in liquid form, which is highly concentrated. You use a few drops of this if you're using it to replace sugar. And you can also get Stevia in a powder form that's often light to light. So 1 teaspoon of this equals a teaspoon of sugar. This one's called Natvia. I'm going to be using this to make my custard. Now let me show you how. Now first of all, I'm just going to put 1 pint of full cream milk into a heavy base saucepan. Ideally you want a saucepan with a fairly thick base. And then we want to flavour that with vanilla. Now always use either a vanilla bean paste or vanilla extract. Don't use an essence. If you're going to the trouble of making custard, you can also use a proper vanilla bean. Now I'm just going to take this one. We want to split along the body edge like that. Just open up the bean like that and then get the edge of your knife and just scrape out those wonderful vanilla beans. And that's going to go straight into our milk, and we're not going to waste the pod. I'm just going to cut this one into 2 pieces, prop it into the milk as well. And then we just bring that over to the stove and bring it up to a simmer on a medium heat. Now I've got 4 egg yolks in a bowl here, and we're going to be using a couple of tablespoons of our stevia sweetener. Now I would just add, if you were making this into a custard for ice cream, you'd add another 2 tablespoons because the sweetener needs to sweeten the other ingredients, the extra cream that's going to be added in there. Now when you're making an egg custard, you don't always add corn flour, but if we add a tablespoon of corn flour, there's less chance of our custard separating. Just makes it a little easier for the home cook. Then I want you to take a whisk, and we're going to whisk this together until we get a light creamy consistency. Expect the egg yolks to lighten slightly. That's what we're looking for. Now I've brought that milk up to a simmer, and we don't want to pour all that hot milk into here. We have to temper these eggs a little bit first. You can use a ladle or just splash a little bit of milk, maybe about 1/4 cup, and just quickly whisk this so that the eggs don't cook. And that's just going to temper the egg yolks. And then we're either going to put this into there or that into here. I prefer to do it this way round. I'm just going to pour my milk in slowly while whisking. Just keep whisking this together. And then what we want to do is put that back into our saucepan. And at this point, I'm going to change to a wooden spoon. We're going back over to the stove. And as we warm this very gently on the stove, we are going to keep stirring so the egg doesn't cook on the bottom and become lumpy. Now it's important not to have too high a heat on the pan at the moment, and we do want to keep stirring all the way around the corners, little figure of 8 through the center. And eventually this is going to thicken up and it'll coat the back of the spoon, and then our custard will be ready. And if you're very patient and you let this warm slowly, the custard itself shouldn't split. We want to coat the back of the spoon like that. See the little seeds on there as well? Now that is ready. That is a wonderful dessert custard. And there we have a pint of beautiful vanilla custard with all the little beans in there. That is going to taste delicious. Now I'm not going to be eating this just now because this is going into a sugar-free ice cream. So stay tuned for that. I hope for those of you that are avoiding sugar in your diet, you'll find this useful. Now, please share the love, and I'd love to hear your comments. Be good. I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned. A big thank you for joining me. I'm going to leave a link here to a couple of recipes that could use this sort of custard. Okay, so get across and see those. As always, stay in touch, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video. Be good.